Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. And we're in Hijikata's route. We're at the end of chapter 3. We're out in Shimabara after Harada, protected the signboard and saw Kyoto. And so he, of course, just brought it up that he saw someone that looked like us, and we kind of cock-blocked and stopped in a really weird place last time because, that's how we do sometimes. You got to get those points on that Spacey Go board. Anyway, so we were about to think about how we felt about being told that he saw someone like us. Anyway, I felt perplexed. To be honest, I wasn't quite sure what to feel. I hadn't gone in Harada's way, of course. There was no way I could have. But I felt bad. Someone who looked just like me made things more difficult for the Shinsengumi. I didn't know who she was, but our shared appearance made me feel responsible somehow. Who was this strange girl? Because if it was just any woman, he wouldn't have been as shocked, like, what? And let people go. But he was like, what? I mean, sure that was only a part of it, but. You worried about what Sano said? Oh, yes, I am. I was wondering how someone could look just like me. Maybe you got possessed. Whenever you're sleeping, a restless spirit takes over your body, and you wander the streets of Kyoto totally oblivious. Do you really think that's what happened? Maybe he was right. Maybe I was the culprit. Oh man, I'm just joking, kid. Could you not be so gullible? Gets boring if you fall for it every time. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, why am I apologizing? Anyways, do you remember that one time? You remember that girl we met on a patrol with Heisuke? The one who looked just like you? Oh, of course. The girl whom Okita said I bore a striking resemblance. I'd almost forgotten about her. Her name was Kaoru. Do you think she was the one who kept Harada from capturing all the Tosa men? Well, do you think there are that many girls in Kyoto that look just like you? Well, no, but she was just a normal girl. She didn't look like the kind of person who would try to sabotage the Shinsengumi. Don't you know you can't judge a book by its cover? There isn't a person in Kyoto who doesn't know what that board represents. There was no doubt in his voice. So, what would you do if the girl was the same one who Harada saw? Oh, you already know the answer to that, don't you? I'd kill her, of course. She might be a girl, but an enemy's an enemy. He was right. I had known that he would choose to kill her, but to actually hear the cold finality of his words, I couldn't just pretend I was okay with it today. I need to go use the, facilities. I just couldn't bear to stay in that room any longer. Were the girl we'd seen and the one who'd interrupted Harada one and the same? That would have been a better place to stop, but If she was interfering with the Shinsengumi on purpose, did that mean that she was an imperialist? Or was she simply doing it for her own enjoyment? After all, there wasn't a person in Kyoto who didn't know the name of the Shinsengumi. She had to know what would happen to her if she challenged them. There you are. I wondered where you'd gone off to. Something wrong? Food not your thing? No, it's wonderful. The food, it's something else. You're worried about the girl Harada saw. The girl that got in the way wasn't necessarily your acquaintance, right? Oh, well, yes, of course not. There was no hiding my thoughts from him, it seemed. I love getting romancy points, so that makes me happy. Don't worry about it, alright? It's our business. Or was Soji messing around with you again? Trying to shake you up? I guess my face must have said it all since Hijikata looked like he understood immediately. Pfft, seriously? That fool never quits with his tasteless jokes. I always tell him to knock it off because it's a bad influence on our newer members. Without a word, he moved over next to me and... This is when we get the gloriousness! Sat down. I could feel the warm breeze drifting in through the open window. Alright, now it's time for the real party to start. You ready, Sano? We want to see it. Now you're talking. Can't have a party without Sano's unique performance. Which we already know what it is. It's the stomach painting. Well, I guess I don't have a choice then, do I? How could I say no to you guys anyway? What a guy! Can you get us a brush and some ink, ma'am? Their voices echoed out from the other room, drifting through the warm air. The look on Hijikata's face was one I'd never seen before. It's really funny, though, when you don't know what they're doing. You're like, what are they doing? Harada's performance, and then there's an ink and a brush. What are you doing in there? Like, it's nowhere near as bad as you think, but you just, your mind goes, wait. I don't know. Man, they never change. I'm sorry? We used to run this poor sword school back in Edo. We drink like this every time we'd get paid. This just reminds me of that. There were many who wanted to know how to swing a sword, in case of war or something, but no one wanted to learn from a bunch of country hicks. We barely had any money to run the dojo. Our roof sprung on every rainy day, and the windows wouldn't stand a chance against a damn breeze. I remember thinking we're not going to give up now. Someday we're going to put Kondo on the map. Oh wait, that's him. Something up? You can't imagine that we went through times like that. Oh, well, yes. When I met them, Hijikata was already the commander of the Shinsengumi, so I couldn't even imagine in my dreams that they had such a rough start. You're so honest. I still think about it every so often. It wasn't so long ago I was just a street merchant selling my family's medicine. Now I wear swords and work for the shogun. Sometimes I wonder if this is just a long dream, and eventually I'm gonna have to wake up. It's like adorable. You're like, oh my god! Hijikata, you're so soft and squishy. You write poetry. How come that has never come up in his path? Where is that gonna come up? I want to read some of this shit. It's like a secret. The only reason we know about it is because we went down Okita's path. And we're like, what now? Can we read this? And we always forget about it. Like, I totally forgot until, like, right now. Like, and I was like, look, it's a murder. Oh, that's right. He writes poetry. Where the fuck is that? The moon rose outside her window, and as he looked up, its light washed over his face, the cool glow playing across his handsome features. Just like Kimigiko had said, he was as good-looking as an actor. After her, though, a girl like myself had to seem awfully plain. And young. You're like fucking 16. Maybe 17 at this point, because it's like now a year later, but especially next to a man as beautiful as he. Yeah, I can't take it. Stop it, Sano. I'm laughing so hard I can't breathe. Come on, you're the idiot who got me up there. You're the idiot who got me up here in the first place. Now you want me to stop right in the middle of it? You're the greatest, Sano. One more time. You're like, what are they doing? The party lasted until morning. There was the Fury Core to worry about, and now a girl who looked just like me. It was a lot to think about, but it was hard to feel down when everyone around me was having such a great time. December 1866. That's a January 1867. The fuck game. I was sweeping the section of the compounds despite being nearly frozen to the bone. Well, that should do it. I wanted to help out as much as I could, but since they still refused to let me out without an escort, there wasn't a great deal I could do. Still, I helped clean our home, and that felt good. Hopefully they'd like it too. Cleaning, I see. You're certainly hard at work. Oh, hello, Kondo. It's really gotten cold lately, hasn't it? Yes, it has indeed. I've been in Kyoto a while now. I still can't get used to the weather. He rubbed his hands together and blew on them, in a mostly vain attempt to warm them up. I've picked up a bunch of dead leaves, so I was thinking about roasting potatoes later. Would you like some? They'll warm you up. Kondo gave me a little wry smile. Roasted potatoes, huh? I used to enjoy that. A long time ago. Oh. I flushed with embarrassment. Kondo was a busy man. His management of the Shinsengumi was not easy. A man like that didn't have time for roasting potatoes. You've been really busy lately. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Oh, right. Well, if I'm busy, then that means the Shinsengumi is needed. It's an honor. True. In the last several weeks, Kondo and Hijikata had left the temple often to go meet with important shogunate officials. They scarcely had time to breathe, let alone relax. In that moment, almost as if my thoughts had summoned him, Hijikata appeared, like a beautiful ghost. There he is, magic. There you are, Kondo. Huh, Toshi. Where were you? I was looking for you. I have chosen the next shogun. It's going to be Lord Yoshinobu. Hitotsubashi. Him, huh? Well, no one else could probably do it, so we should just buckle down and accept the position instead of making a fuss about it. Toshi, that's not the way we should look at it and speak of someone who's becoming the new shogun. They say the man is wise, and he's said to be an incarnate of Lord Ieyasu. Forget it. Doesn't really matter who the shogun is to us anyway. We're just here to fight for him. That's right. We do our best. That means the shogun and the shogunate are safe and secure. Only 20 days after Lord Yoshinobu had been officially inaugurated as new shogun, the emperor suddenly passed away. It sounds like murder to me. Sounds like some serious murder going on. It was especially hard on the emperor's younger sister, Kazunomiya, who had been married to Lord Ieyamochi and was intended to be a symbol of imperial unification. But everyone on both sides was shocked by his death. He was succeeded by the imperial prince, a young boy of only 15 years. In the turmoil, the activities of the Choshu domain went uninvestigated, and the entire country of Japan found itself thrust into rapid motion. Chapter 4? Chapter 4. April 1867. This time the date's right. Oh, hey! Look, Okita! Cherry blossoms have bloomed. They're magnificent! Look! Okita! Okita! Look! Okita! Look! Okita! He's like, God damn it, I'm gonna fucking kill you, kid. The seasons changed and spring came. Kyoto was filled with the cherry blossoms, and the whole city took on a festive atmosphere. Surrounded by the gentle cheer of spring, my footsteps felt somehow lighter. It's getting warmer out, and it finally looks like a nice day. So I get that you're all giddy and stuff, but it'd be nice if you acted with a little more decency right now. I gasped and I turned around to look at my surroundings. The townsmen were looking at me dubiously as I expressed my excitement over the weather. Okay, I'll be careful. Stop acting like a girl. Jesus, Jessica! You're a boy, for fuck's sake! I mean, maybe I was spacing out because things had quieted down a bit, and I let my guard down. Hey, Okita? In that narrow alleyway over there seems to be a few Ronin that saw us and snuck away. Don't waste your energy on them. They're small potatoes. Really? If they were Imperial Nationalist guys, then they wouldn't just run off like that. They'd be more confident. Guys who take off like that when we show up are almost always just small-time punks. I see. But honestly, I don't think there are any Ronin left in Kyoto with the balls to start something with us. The Shinsengumi's gotten pretty famous around Kyoto, hasn't it? The uniform stands out a lot, too. Well, could be infamous, depending on who you ask. When the men wore their uniforms, people seemed to notice them at first glance, which at first probably seemed like a good thing, but their uniform had become a symbol. But there was some argument among the Shinsengumi about if they should adopt a new one. Some people, such as Ito, felt that the uniform should be changed because it wasn't fashionable. Oh, Ito. This is why we gave you the gay voice, because no straight man is like, it's not fashionable. We should be more fashionable, darling. Seriously. It's like, how dare the savages try to disrobe me? He's so delicate. I love him. I know he's a douchey side character, but he's one of my favorite douchey side characters. It's the personality I gave him. Is Ito back from the Imperial territories yet? Yeah, I think so. Can't say I'd have minded if he just stayed out there, though. Aw, don't be like that. He went to go recruit some of his friends and acquaintances, right? Yeah, that's what we need, more Itos in the group. That's what he says, but I gotta wonder if he really went. I didn't hear the details, but I heard he went to more places than he originally planned. If he put in all that effort, then he must really care about the Shinsengumi, right? That's what you think? Anyway, that's what you think? That's how he said it. That's what you think? Am I wrong? No, not really. He said it in a suggestive way. Kondo's too nice. He should just kill Ito. You really shouldn't, Okita. How could you joke about killing one of your companions? Companion, huh? He scoffed, then fell silent. Ever since he had first arrived, Okita and the rest had never seemed to like Ito much, but when he said it aloud in public, it still surprised me. I glanced around to make sure no one had been paying attention. Oh! There in the crowd, a face I'd seen before. I stopped walking. Kaoru? A face that looked back could easily have been mine. There was no way I could have ever mistaken that face. No sooner than I spotted her had she disappeared, melting into the crowd. Kaoru! Hey! He made a grab for my arm, but I'd already moved out of his reach. I might get in trouble for it, but if I didn't go quickly, I'd lose her. Sorry, Okita, there's something I have to do. He's like, I will fucking kill you. I caught a glimpse of his confused face as I ducked into the crowd. How many times do I have to tell her not to run off without permission? Why can't she look at this from my point of view? Because we're dumb. Darkwing Duck, get dangerous. I ran through the crowds as fast as I could, bobbing and weaving around citizens going about their business, till at last I caught up to her. She was Kaoru, no mistake. Oh, what's the matter? You seem to be out of breath. Sorry, for surprising you, that is. Kaoru, do you remember me? Yes, you were with the Shinsengumi. I remember you. May I ask you something? My, what is it? I gulped. I knew I had to choose my words carefully when asking her. One of the Shinsengumi saw a girl who looked like me at the Sanjo Ohashi Bridge a while ago. Could that have been you? I don't know. I do go by Sanjo Ohashi fairly often. But if I were there, would that have been a problem? Yes, bitch. Oh. I was embarrassed for asking her what seemed to be an irrelevant question, but her eyes thinned. And perhaps what you truly wanted to ask me is whether I've been there at night. Am I right? Could it be? If it was an autumn night and you got in the Shinsegumi's way, then you and I are going to need to have a little talk. I don't want to give away all the details, but it ends with your death. Oh, Okita. I hadn't realized he caught up with me so quickly. Oh, whoops, sorry. Oh, you're Okita from the Shinsengumi. Thank you for helping me the other day. It was like 2 fucking years ago. Like, legit. She bowed, but Okita didn't even seem to notice. This game is, like, really fucking weird when it comes to, like, thanks for helping me the other day. You mean 2 years ago? So, you gonna answer the question? Were you there that night? Okita wore the same half-smile he always did, but his body was as tight as a bowstring, ready to have his blade in hand at a moment's notice. My death? Please don't say scary things like that. Lots of people pass by Sanjo Ohashi during the day. At night, though, I don't go near it because of the notice board stuff. I can't believe you suspect me just because my face happens to look like someone else's. She sadly looked down, and I rushed to shake my head. Oh, of course, I understand. Sorry for asking something so rude. Shady bitch. I guess it really wasn't her. I felt embarrassed for even doubting her for a second, so I apologized. Man, you're so easy. Just like that, you're gonna believe her. Even if she was the culprit, what makes you think she would be like, oh, that's right, I did do it? Well, why did you trust her so easily? Is it because she looks like you, or because she's a girl? I didn't have an answer. Kaoru then took one step back. Can I go now? I have to be somewhere. Excuse me. Kaoru... She turned and ducked away, disappearing back into the crowd. Had I done the right thing, I wondered, in covering for her? You weren't really covering for her, but I was pondering whether or not I should give chase again when I heard Okita begin to cough. Okita, are you okay? Okita! Stay back. As I stepped toward him, he threw out a hand and twisted his face upward to glare at me. I'm fine. So just stay there, okay? Too much coughing. It was the sheer force of his personality that stopped me, not just his words. For a little while, he coughed as if his lungs were going to collapse. Eventually, his coughing slowed, then began to subside. His cough finally ended, and he wiped his sweat and looked up. Okita, is something wrong? Like what? I mean, why don't we find somewhere to rest? You don't look too well. I was just tired. I mean, you did make me run all the way here. And besides, we're in the middle of a round. We have no time to rest. But, no buts. I'm fine. Now, about the girl, Kaoru. Asking her about the thing with the notice board was important. I agree with you. But even, no. Because of how important that is, you shouldn't have run off on your own like that. What if she had been an enemy of ours? What if she had accomplices hidden nearby? Could you have handled it alone? Well, did you even consider that possibility? She'd planned to lure you here? There's not that many people here. No one would notice if you screamed. It's a great spot for an ambush, you know. You're right. She hadn't tried to attack me, but Okita was right. Next time I might not be so lucky. I could have easily run right into a trap. You need to be more careful, alright? I can take care of you. Without me around, you're just a useless kid. I gripped my fist and looked down. Sorry. I felt bad causing him extra stress, so I apologized and he sighed. Man, I'm not the type to lecture either. Stop being so timid. You can rely on us when you need to. I've gotten pretty used to saving your ass by now. A couple more times isn't gonna mean much. He let out a snort of laughter. That night, after everyone else had gone to bed, I lay awake thinking about what had happened. Okay, this is where we get attacked. I couldn't forget what Okita had said. A useless kid. He was right. Compared to the captains, no, even compared to the weakest Shinsengumi foot soldier, I was pathetic. I'd been lying there staring at the ceiling. My actions today were no doubt reckless. I mean, if this happened a little while ago, I'm sure I would have been killed, no questions asked. The fact that I got away with just a lecture shows that they're starting to trust me a little more, but I couldn't go on like this. Tomorrow I start working harder. But no sooner had I closed my eyes. What? My bird jumped. There was a crash from the hallway outside my room. I rolled up and out of bed just as the door exploded into my room. Standing in the hole was one of the Shinsengumi soldiers. Is something wrong? I called out to him despite being incredibly alert and guarded, but the soldier remained quiet. Sorry, bird. Did you need something? Blood. Huh? Like blood? I squinted to get a clearer picture. Just then, his hair instantly turned white. Blood. I need blood. His eyes were ominously red, and he looked directly at me. He was one of the Furies. Give me blood. To top it off, he was completely mad. Just like the warrior I saw that one night in Kyoto. I had to call for help. I couldn't possibly face a deranged superhuman monster on my own. I inhaled, preparing to call for help. No, I couldn't call for help. If I did, then I could risk jeopardizing the Shinsengumi's secret about the Furies. That would spell disaster for the Shinsengumi. I had to find another way. The Fury, unfortunately, was not similarly encumbered by doubts. Ah! His sword hissed through the air, and I felt the metal of its blade burn into the flesh on my arm. Ah! A sharp pain seared into thought from my wound. Wait. A sharp pain seared into thought from my wound. Sure. I don't even know what that's trying to say. I can't. Okay. Into my thoughts? Maybe? Sharp pain seared into my thoughts? I don't know. The Fury saw my blood dripping, and his eyes became even more mad. Blood sprang from the cut. I pressed down on it and desperately with my free hand, but to no avail. Thick red liquid spilled between my fingers, fled down my arm and onto the floor. Yes! Blood! Give me blood! Fury became increasingly erratic, and he started licking the blood-stained sword. Ugh. He began to creep toward me, his movements odd and jerky, like a massive spider. Oh no. My back slammed against the wall. I'm going to die. Just when I prepared myself for death, I suddenly remembered Okita's words from earlier that day. Stop being so timid. You can rely on us when you need to. Okita, everyone... Someone help! Someone help! I can't really scream help really loud, because, you know. Blood. Blood. He was down on his hands and knees, licking my spilt blood off the floor. Ugh. There was no samurai there. It seemed what little humanity had left him entirely. I used his distraction to gain distance from him. Please, I begged, to any god who might be listening, let someone come. Not enough. Not enough. He looked up from the floor. My sleeve was soaked in blood from the cut on my arm. His eyes locked onto it, and I saw them light up with animalistic hunger. His grin was a nightmarish thing. Yes, that. Give me more of your blood. He kicked the floor roughly and came charging at me. No! There was no doubt he was going to kill me. I froze. Hi, Hichikata. Get down. Don't look up until I tell you. I heard a voice from nearby, and I immediately followed the orders and ducked. You can tell from his ponytail. You just know. Ah! Fury seemed to be shocked to see Hichikata coming out of nowhere. Like, Hichikata, what were you doing in the corner of my room? I like to watch you sleep. The Fury spun to attack Hichikata, but the commander's sword was faster. Ah! His twisted cry reverberated from the room's walls. Grr, grr. He writhed in agony, but his wound started to heal immediately. Get over here now. Yes. As I ran to his side, I heard other footsteps pounding down the hallways. You all right, Spacey? Hey, isn't he? He's the warrior who had to drink the water of life the other day. He's too far gone. Well, we can't let him live. At some unspoken signal, a chorus of blades slid from their scabbards. Shin! Sano! Don't screw this up! Who the hell do you think we are, Heisuke? The captain can't take out a simple soldier. Even if he is a Fury, he'd have to resign, assuming he wasn't dead. They fanned quickly, circling the wounded soldier. There was no escape. No hard feelings. Damn. Ah! The captains all attacked at once, and the Fury was killed almost instantly. The excitement was over. Or so I thought. But it hadn't been only the captains who'd heard me cry for help. So here's the thing, right? I'm curious because I don't remember. Does he know, like, wasn't that guy dead? Like, because otherwise, if he didn't know he was a Fury, he could be like, what's wrong with him? I don't know. He must have lost his fucking mind. And you wouldn't have to explain about the Furies and all that stuff to Ito. You'd just be like, I don't know. He went crazy. Weird shit, right? Like, I mean, unless he was like, didn't that guy die yesterday, like a couple days ago? And you're like, yeah, about that. Ugh, who's causing such a ruckus at this hour of night? Ito! Ito rubbed his still sleepy eyes, stepping into the room and froze. What's going on here? Damn it. I've seen that soldier before. I thought he was sentenced to death the other day for breaking the code. And look at all of this blood. Are you guys responsible for this? Ito, it's not like that. This is... What is it not like? Why have our captains cut down one of their own men? He was attacking someone? Explain this at once! What happened here? Ito was fuming and screaming. My apologies. My lack of discipline is at fault here. Sonnen! Seeing Sun and Ito's eyes grew wide. Well, now it's like... Sonnen! What are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead! Yeah, so's that guy. What the fuck? Why are you surprised? I'm like, and so's that guy. Hello? Ito. Jesus, honey. Captains fell silent. Eventually... I guess we can't keep it a secret any longer. Yukimura, you step out. You can use my room for the night. Yay! We get to snuggle in Hichikata's pillows. I hope you cleaned them recently and they're not like full of man sweat. But like if they smell like you, that could be nice. I don't know. like wait. Like, gross. Because like after a while, you know, you gotta wash your sheets every so often. Because otherwise it just... Eh. I know me being here won't do anything, but I wonder if they'll be alright. Would they be able to explain the situation enough to Ito so that he wouldn't freak out? There was so much to worry about, but Hichikata looked at me sternly. Did you not hear me? I said get out. Okay. I was worried, but I knew there was nothing else I could do, so I left the room. It's like, get the fuck out! I'm bleeding to death over here. I mean, really not, but still. He doesn't know that. Huh. Is it morning already? The birds chirping woke me up. I shot up, thrown off initially because the ceiling was unfamiliar to me. Really, all the ceilings look the same. I remember that Hijikata had told me to stay in his room for the night, and at the same time, the events of last night were beginning to flood into my mind. The warrior who'd got mad. The pain of the blade slicing my arm. He touched my right arm wrapped in bandages. I couldn't feel a throbbing pain anymore, so I took off my bandage to see my injury. Of course it's healed. What had been an ugly open wound the night before was now little more than a faint white line. In a few days, even that would be gone. I wouldn't need any bandages anymore, but... Well, I guess it's good that the wound is gone, but if anyone sees this... I wrap myself back up again. It'll be inconvenient to wear, but I'm gonna pretend to still have this injury. I wonder what everyone is doing. I decided I'd head to the common room to see what's going on. Oh, you, Ito, Miki, and Saito and Heisuke. What are you guys doing so early in the morning? Well, considering what happened last night, I'm not a heavy enough sleeper to have the kind of beauty sleep I need with that noise. You were injured, right, Yukimura? How's your injured arm doing? Well, it's not that bad. Is that so? Well, I'm glad. Huh? His mood was almost the polar opposite of the previous night. He seemed now to be in a rather high spirits. Ito, has something happened? Oh, would you like to know? Yes? I won't tell you, but I suppose you might have an idea, though. Isn't that right, Toto? Saito? What? I cocked an eyebrow at Heisuke and Saito. Oh, Saito, I got so sad when you left us. I know why you're going, but it still hurts me. Yeah, I guess. The moment our eyes met, he looked away. That seemed odd. Saito? You have no need for this information just now. Unlike his companion, Saito met my gaze straight on, but his eyes were flat and utterly devoid of any emotion. It was as if he put up a wall. Like, another one? I mean, he's always, I don't know. What the hell? It's a little cold to you, having that pass for a goodbye, isn't it? Or did you want to get out of here as soon as possible or something? Get out of here? Saburo, watch your mouth. We'll be on our way now. Good day, Yukimura. Goodbye, Yukimura. Later. And then they were gone, leaving me wondering just what happened.
Oh, hey, Yukimura. Are you sure it's all right for you to be up and about already?
I'm fine. I slept really well and I feel a lot better. And my wound doesn't seem to be as deep as it looked. That's great. I'm sorry about what happened to you, though. It's all right. Anyways, I ran into Ito on my way here. He was acting very peculiar. Did something happen? Inoue and Shimada looked at one another, both wearing troubled expressions.
Ah, so you saw them, eh?
Both Ito and Miki were behaving rather strangely, and Heisuke and Saito were acting kind of strangely too. I was starting to feel concerned, looking at the two of them for an answer. After some thought, Shimada opened up. Yeah, well, Ito and some others are leaving. What? Leave?
They're going to form a new group, different from the Shinsengumi.
Is that okay? He had a meeting this morning with the chief and Commander Hijikata. Guardians of the Imperial Tomb? Yes. I intend to take some of my comrades and leave. We'll be appointed official guardians of the Imperial Mausoleum. I've been considering such a move for some time now. Oh, that was Ito. I don't know why I read that in Kondo's voice, because I saw the K and I just read it. Like, I've been considering a move like that for some time now. But after last night's excitement, I didn't think it'd work out anymore. I knew when I joined the Shinsengumi that my imperialism might not be welcome, but I thought we could work past that. I see now that I was mistaken. Just spit it out, Ito. Basically, you want to split up the Shinsengumi. Who's the one that has been deceiving me for the past 3 years? If you insist, then I'll do as you ask. You must remember, however, Last night's incident is a result of orders from the shogunate. We cannot allow you to reveal the secret. And then I propose the deal. Allow me to depart, peacefully that is, and in turn I'll remain silent. I also wish to bring several of your men with me. Very well. But anyone you wish to take must agree to leave. Of course. I will naturally maintain the fiction that we intend to continue to cooperate with one another. A stance that will no doubt benefit both of us. Cooperation? Fine. Toshi, what do you think? It's your decision, not mine. Then, Heisuke and Saito...
Yes, they're leaving with Ito. I confess I'm rather surprised. I mean, I understand Heisuke since he's known Ito for some time, but I was not expecting it from Saito.
That's because he's a spy. Whatever, we don't know that. No. Then, would that mean I could never see them again? This was the hardest thing to swallow in Saito's right. No! Why did you leave me? Don't worry. Remember what I said. We're gonna keep relations amicable between our two organizations. Kondo... It was kind of him to try and comfort me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was going to befall the Shinsengumi and its members.
You aren't going to let the men interact with the god, though, right?
Of course not. He gets to leave, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna let him get away with whatever he wants. But is this really okay? Ito and the others leaving, I mean. Ito and his men leaving isn't a problem. Although, I was a little surprised that Heisuke and Saito decided to go with that snake. It's funny because he's like, Saito decided to go with that snake. He was ordered and you ordered it. I can't believe you're faking this. You're so good, Hijikata. You really could be an actor. I would say it was more than a little. But I guess all this comes from our own faults and our inability to keep them happy. From there, the conversation moved to a discussion of politics that was beyond my ability to follow. And what could I have said anyway? The decision had been made, and there was nothing I could have said to change it. I got up quietly and left the common room. I never thought something like this could happen. I looked up to the sky, watching the clouds form in streaks above me, and then I lowered my gaze. It seemed like just yesterday that we were all living our normal lives at the compounds. And all of a sudden, we've arrived at today, helpless as our troops split amongst themselves. I couldn't wrap my head around it. It's your fault. Because you have such succulent blood, you attracted a fury. Actually, it's Sonen's fault, but whatever. However, even with all of my confusion, I was especially worried about the soldiers. What about the feelings of those who were being left behind? I wanted to know how the people in the Shinsengumi felt about Ito and his followers leaving. I decided to ask someone high-ranking. The heads of the Shinsengumis seemed like the best people to ask, but they were all still talking in the common room. Perhaps I should wait a bit until they were done. Almost as if on cue, Hijikata appeared in the hallway. Oh, hello, Hijikata. Shouldn't you be resting? Oh, I feel a lot better now. Your dad's a doctor. You know a little bit about medicine. That doesn't mean you're invulnerable. I kinda am. Go back to your room and try not to run around too much. Okay, I'll be careful. Oh, shoot. It was easy to forget one suffered a significant injury when it healed almost completely by morning. I'll go right back to my room, but can I ask you something first? What? It's about Ito and the people who are leaving with him. How do you feel about all of that? What do you mean? Well, people who were members of the Shinsengumi won't be. If I were in Hijikata's shoes, I don't think I could sit still. I'd be so stressed. Either that or I'd blame myself. Like, your friends are leaving. We feel sad, and we've only known them for a few years. We were allies yesterday. But if our positions change, we can be enemies tomorrow. What's life? But what about Saito and Heisuke? They'd all been captains together. Surely Hijikata saw them as friends, at least. Would Hijikata be able to brand them as enemies just because of their change in allegiance? Saito and Toto. It's going to be rough to lose a pair of skilled swordsmen, yes. But think about the future. If they're leaving, they had some problem with the Shinsengumi. Better they leave now than later when the problem gets worse. How can he be so cold and analytical about his friends? Because he's crying on the inside. He's a marshmallow, remember? He's like, his insides are getting gooier right now. Yet he made sense. If Ito and company were leaving because they were incompatible with the Shinzengumi, then perhaps it was for the best. But was the best thing for the future of the Shinzengumi also the best thing for Hijikata? I couldn't understand. My wound healed completely soon afterward, but I kept the bandages on. I didn't want anyone to see that my scar had healed. Since Ito, Heisuke, and Saito all left, the compounds felt much larger and emptier. Around the same time, Takeda, one of the captains of the Shinsengumi, had also left. I guess these are things we can't help, but it felt as if everyone was going in different directions, off to forge their own paths. I couldn't help but feel sad about it. July 1867. July 1867. 3 months had passed since Ito had left the Shinsengumi, taking his men and others with him. Late one evening, I laid in my warm futon at an hour where I should have been asleep, but I was tossing and turning in my bed. My mind was wide awake. I wasn't falling asleep anytime soon. But why? I was nervous, certainly, and I trained earlier that day, but neither of those was anything new. I trained earlier that day, nothing was new. And yet you're still an idiot and you can't use your sword ever. I know I should get it and be like, it's because she doesn't like violence and doesn't want to hurt people. But like, oh my God, when it's life or death situation, it's not like, I'm just going to go out wielding a sword, woo, into battle. You're like, someone's attacking you. I'm going to cower. Oh God. I need them to have some backbone is all I'm saying, right? I needed to get to sleep soon, or I'd oversleep in the morning. That would be embarrassing. As I forced my eyes shut for the thousandth time, that's really hard, I heard someone calling out for me. Yukamura, you still awake? Oh, this is when Sen visits, okay. The voice outside belonged to Hijikata. I scrambled to my feet. Yes? What do you need? I'll do anything for you. Come to the common room. Damn it. Why do you need, to see me? Do me? What? Huh? Hold me? Love me? Marry me? All of the above? Yes? What is it? You have a visitor. Once you're dressed, come to the common room. A visitor? Who'll come to visit me? Especially at such a late hour. I stood, puzzled, but I rushed to get dressed and shuffled toward the common room. Oh, the days when we were in Saito's bathroom. We're like, did Saito come to visit us? No, we didn't. Damn it, Sen. He did come to take care of us when we were sick, though. Always remember that. And the, do you want to build a snowman? Play around in the snow outside. I'll build you a snow bunny, and it'll be embarrassing, and you'll blush, and it'll be cute, and I don't know how to rhyme. Oh, the good old days playing in the snow. We don't do that with Hijikata. Could you imagine having that same conversation with Hijikata? Do you want to play in the snow? And he just look at you and be like, what the fuck is your damage? And then you just walk away. Like, he wouldn't even say anything. He'd just give you that look that's like, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? And he might actually, he might say, they're like, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? And then walk away. And he'd be like, so no, you don't want to build a snowman? I'm sorry, what if I asked it like, do you want to build a snowman? Actually, yes, I fucking love snowmen. Yay! I want to see Hijikata playing in the motherfucking snow. That's all I have saying. You want to see it too, you know it. I slid open the door and walked in, and I was surprised at what I saw. Oh, I apologize for disturbing your sleep. Oh, that's fine. I wasn't actually sleeping, but... You got some crazy bedhead. Didn't you have time to brush it? What? Really? I'm so sorry, Cut the stupid joke, Soji. Huh? Well, it was a joke? You should have, you got up, you put your hair up in a ponytail, so your bedhead can't be that bad. Don't worry, you don't have bedhead. Thanks for coming. Please sit there. Okay. Even Sanin was here. Seeing all the captains of the Shinsengumi gathered, not all of them, because 2 of them are gone, I shook with nerves. Actually 4, because, Takeda left and he was a captain, and Miki left and he was also a captain, but whatever. I went to sit down in the corner, but when I locked eyes with the person sitting in front of me, my eyes grew wide. Reason being, the person who was sitting was...
Hello, Spacey. How are you doing? I'm sorry for visiting you so late at night.
Sen? So my visitor was Sen? What could she be doing here? Only then did I notice a beautiful woman dressed as a ninja seated next to Sen.
Ah, yes, this one is with me. My bodyguard, one might say.
Bodyguard? I looked at the captains, hoping someone would explain the situation. Supposedly, she really wants to talk to you. Guess he's leaving it up to me to talk first. So, Sen, what brings you here today? Even though I was nervous, at the very least, our relationship was beyond just acquaintances. Sen looked back at me with a stern expression, and she looked down before speaking calmly.
Well, I'll get straight to the point. I've come to take you.
Come to take me? Like, at least you're a lot nicer about it than, Kazama, but, what do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, it's actually a long story. I'm not quite sure where to begin.
There's no time. We must make preparations to leave immediately. Wait, hold on! Why should I go with you?
Yeah, it's a damn good question. You just barge in here asking to see her and spring this on us?
Are you her relatives or something? She doesn't seem to have any idea, though. Sen, can you explain a little more?
Yes, I do suppose you have a point. I suppose arriving suddenly and springing this upon you would be rather perplexing. Very well, I'll start at the beginning. It may take some time.
Should we step out?
No, I'd like you all to stay. It does involve the lot of you as well.
She glanced around the room, looking at each of the captains, and started to speak.
You're familiar with Kazama, yes? I hear you've crossed swords with him once or twice.
How'd you know that?
Well, I hear of most things that happen in Kyoto. Eventually.
You're something like Kazama and his punks, aren't you?
I would rather prefer not to be associated with his ilk, but yes, in a sense you are correct.
Fine. You were talking about Kazama? He showed up at Ikedia. Well, that's weird that he called it that instead of Ikeda. But anyway, Ikedia, Hamaguri, and Nijo. He's got something to do with Sasuma and Choshu, doesn't he? Well, most of the time it seems more like he was there for his own reasons, and not any kind of damn domain politics. Either way, he's an enemy of the Shinsengumi.
And then you're also aware that he's pursuing your lady friend here.
Sen gestured at me for the captain's benefit, then fixed me with a level stare. What was going on? It was getting stranger and stranger, and I was starting to think I didn't really want to know the rest of the story.
We're aware of that. We're also aware that Kazama and his compatriots call themselves demons. Not that we're inclined to believe such a claim, of course.
No, I do not think their claim as demon is unfounded. All three of them possess powers that make them incomparable to humans. However, despite their strengths, their presence is virtually unknown amongst the public. In normal circumstances, that is impossible.
It's rare for you to say something so kind, Sonnen.
Oh, that's me. Go on, Sen.
Then you know they are demons. Excellent. That will save me some time then. I'm not a human either. I'm also a demon.
You are?
I am in fact a princess. Princess Sen.
With that, she gave us an elegant bow, exactly like what one might expect from a princess. I came from a family of ninjas who have served Princess Sen and her family for generations. It all makes sense now. I wondered why you were being so friendly. You were gathering information on the Shinsengumi. He's like, I feel offended. I thought you were hitting on me. And she's like, nah. I have no idea what you mean. She tilted her head to the side politely and met Hijikata's glare with an innocent smile.
You know her?
Move your eyes up about 6 inches, Shinpachi. That's Kimigiku. She's dressed a little different from when we met her at Shimabara. That's her face, all right. Move your eyes up about 6 inches.
What?
Kimigiku smiled.
We demons have lived in this country since a very long time ago. The top officials in the shogunate and in many of the domains already know of us. Most demons had no interest in human matters and preferred to be left alone to go about their own affairs in peace. However, Humans in position of power saw that they might achieve great things with the assistance of demons, and so demanded that assistance.
And did the demons obey?
Many did not. They felt they had no obligation to involve themselves in human affairs. Human ambition meant nothing to them. But when they refused, the human lords were furious. They sent out great armies to destroy the villages of the demons.
How horrible.
Demon clans scattered across the country and were forced into hiding. No longer isolated in their own communities, they went on to mate with humans. These days, there are few demons who can claim a pure bloodline.
And I assume Kazama is one of these.
Sen nodded.
Currently, the largest pureblood family is the Kazama, who have the Satsuma domain support. You've already met the head, Chikage Kazama.
Chikage Kazama.
In the east, the largest family is the Yukamura. That would be your family, Spacey,
Although all of them are wiped out, there's like 3 of us left. What?
I heard that the demons of the Yukamura clan living in the hidden village were destroyed by humans. But it would seem there's a survivor. That survivor is her. Spacey, the blood that runs in your veins is pure and strong. I sense great power from you.
But I'm fucking useless and can't do a damn thing. That's all I'm saying. No way. But maybe your power only comes out at a certain age. I don't know.
I had Kiku gather as much history on your family as she could.
I know you may find it all difficult to believe, but you are very much a demon. The revelation of all this was nearly impossible to comprehend. I was at a loss for words. I mean, I was told I was not a human, but a being called the demon. I couldn't believe it, but at the same time, all the odd things that occurred all made sense now. Now I knew why Kazama was after me, and why I'd healed so much more quickly than anyone else.
If you're indeed the descendant of a pure-blooded demon, then Kazama's desire for you is clear. Should 2 purebloods mate, they'll produce an even more powerful demon.
That's why he's not after you, because you're only a half-blood? Is that what you're saying?
So he wants her for his bride.
He wants me for his concubine. Like,
After a fashion, yes. Kazama will definitely return for her. Thus far, he's been content to toy with you, but I cannot guess how much longer that may last. Should he devote all of his formidable abilities to this task, I do not think you'll be able to protect her. Even the Shinsengumi cannot stand against the true power of a demon.
Whoa there, princess. You don't think that's going a bit far?
Shinbachi's right. You aren't giving us enough credit.
The only reason you're still alive is because Kazama and his companions have not turned their full strength on you.
And then let them. I should dearly like to see the power of a true demon. Sonin! Kazama and his friends had already demonstrated incredible strength. Even the captains of the Shinsengumi had been easily brushed aside. That wasn't even the full extent of their strength. Then a battle to the death against one of them would be... Shinpachi and Harada are right. Although they're more powerful than any average human warrior, the difference in power between us wasn't so vast that we couldn't best them. God, these men, it's like, that was a fraction of their power. We can take them. You're all gonna die. Even if they were going easy on us. Very true. Besides, we got the demon himself in command, don't we? Shut up, Soji.
I understand how you feel, but you must realize that these men are unlike any other foe you've faced before. Your guys' job is to protect the safety of Kyoto, not to protect her. But they love me. That's why I must ask you to leave her to us. In our care, her chances of survival would be much higher.
Hey, give us a chance, alright? Are you trying to say we can't protect her?
This may sound rude, but you're talking about the power of 2 women over all of us. It's hard for me to imagine your thin arms could go head-to-head with guys like Kazama, Amagiri, and Shiranui. Look, lady, you're not part of the Shinsengumi, so I'd appreciate it if you keep your nose out of our business. Well, Sen and Kimigiku seem to be thrown off by the captain's reactions. I'm going to guess Kimigiku is probably strong. Even though a female demon's not as strong as a male demon, she's probably stronger than these motherfuckers. She's a demon, right? And what about you, Hijikata? You've acknowledged Kazama's strength. Surely you must at least consider the princess's offer. Please give her to us. That's different. It's not our style to back out on a promise. We've decided we're going to protect her. We're not going to run away just because they're demons. Besides, if you're going to claim that you're a demon, I guess I'll take it, but it doesn't mean we trust you. Do you know who you're speaking to? Princess Sen is a descendant of Suzuka Gozen.
Kimigiku, please. That is not necessary.
Her tone was calm and friendly, but it left no room for argument. I agree with Hijikata. If she really does have a blood of a different species, we'd like to cooperate with her for internal purposes in the near future. What? Kimigiku glared at him. Oh my god, he wants to use me as a science experiment. I love you, Sana, but Jesus. She probably didn't say anything out of concern for Sen.
I see. That is a problem then. There's no way I can convince you.
Hold on a minute. We didn't confirm one important thing.
Important thing?
Yukimura, what do you have to say about this?
Thank you. He's the only person thinking about me. Like, wait. Maybe we should ask her fucking opinion. It's her fucking choice. My body, my choice, who I go with. Jesus. See? You'll be trying to tell me what to do with my fucking life all up in this shit. Even Sen's over there. You're a woman. You should know it's my choice. I mean, you make a rational decision. Like, she should come with us. But you should give her to us. The fuck? Me? Well, I couldn't give an immediate answer. It wasn't that I was doubting Sen and Kimigiku, but...
I see. It must be difficult to discuss with an audience. You ought to speak with Princess Sen alone. What the hell, Kondo?
Hijikata tried to protest, but Kondo didn't exchange his expressions, because Hijikata's like, don't let her go, I love her. There should be at least one witness. The princess may take Kimigiku as well, of course.
No, that's not necessary. We've been ignoring her feelings this whole time. If she wants to leave this place, we shouldn't stop her.
Kondo...
Damn it. You're so easy on people as usual.
Well, Kondo says so. His words spoke for the rest of them as well. They might not like it, but Kondo was the chief. What he said went. But it was above his title alone. I think his personality usually won out these sorts of issues. On these sorts of issues. You won't steal her away the moment the two of you were alone, will you?
You needn't worry. Once a demon makes a promise, we keep it.
I'll be fine. Sen isn't a bad person.
Why, thank you, Spacey.
When she smiled, her expression had returned to that of a girl her age. A few moments later, we found ourselves alone in my room.
I know I've given you a terrible amount of things to think on this evening. I'm awfully sorry. Normally, I would never take this kind of measure.
No, it's all right. I'm sorry about, them. They said some pretty mean things.
Well, that's to be expected, I fear. I was asking rather a lot of them, and frightfully suddenly. Not many humans would accept the existence of demons so readily. But enough of that. On to business. What do you say to my offer? Have you thought on it?
I had indeed. If Sen had come to me when I first arrived in Kyoto, I might well have taken her up on her hospitality. But now...
The Shinsengumi seem to believe that they can. Though I don't doubt their dedication, I confess I do doubt their ability.
Perhaps what she said was true. The Shinsengumi were powerful and skilled. I'd seen them face overwhelming odds and emerge victorious, but those odds had always been only human. The strength of even a single demon was something great and terrible. Of that, there was no doubt. We'd all seen so firsthand, and some had even lost their lives to that strength. And the same fate could occur, even to the captains of the Shinsengumi.
I'm sure the political situation in Kyoto will be more chaotic in the near future. If Kazama were to strike during such a time, what do you think would happen? You should leave the Shinsengumi. That way they'll be able to fight without worry.
Sen... Her eyes were serious, but warm and honest. Whatever else she might be, her concern for me was real. Thank you, Sen, but... I hesitated. I just couldn't get myself to agree.
Is there a reason you wish to stay?
Yeah.
Oh my! One of those gentlemen, perhaps?
What? Her question had been entirely innocent, although it had caught me off guard. I couldn't possibly lie to her. What should I tell her? Yes. Yeah. I nodded and did my best to look confident. She seemed a little surprised, but she eventually looked relieved and softened up.
I see. Well, I shan't ask who. But I can certainly understand your dilemma. That being the case, I couldn't possibly tell you to leave.
That's true. So there's technically when you're saying yes or no, like one of those gentlemen,
yes, it was somebody in that room, or no, because it was somebody else. Like, when we're in Yamazaki's right, I think we say no, because he's not in that room. Anyway.
Thank you for waiting.
So, how was it? Have you reached a decision?
Before I could speak, Sen stepped forward. After some discussion, we've decided to leave things as they are. Sen.
Are you sure, Your Highness?
Quite. For now, I believe it's of utmost importance to prioritize her wishes.
Very well. The Shinzengumi accepts responsibility for her well-being. Just relax and leave it all to me. Oh, I'm sure Shinpachi will give you all sorts of other things to worry about. Still, glad to have you around. What kind of girl would want to stay here? I can't tell if you have guts or if you got rocks for brains. This doesn't make you special. You receive the same treatment you always have.
Right. Thank you, all of you, for letting me stay. Sen took my hands in hers and let her eyes rest on mine. Do be careful, Spacey. And remember, I am on your side. Thank you, Sen. She gave me one last warm smile, and then Sen and Kimigiku were gone. Once again, sleep refused to come. My mind worked furiously, turning over everything Sen had told me, examining it from every angle. I was a demon. Not only that, but I was the head of a pure-blooded demon clan that was nearly destroyed, my heritage being the reason for Kazama's continued interest. God. I decided to stay with the Shinzengumi, but was that really the best idea? Should I have left instead? I wanted to stay, of course, and I didn't really think leaving was a reasonable choice, but what if I'd made a mistake? What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna actually end this part here. I really should have ended it a few minutes ago, because this is now... As I started reading, as we were like, I was like, oh, we're getting to the point where the demons are going to attack us, and this is going to be a long scene, so... So here's Spacey cock-blocking you again. So we're just kind of ending the worst part ever. But yeah, so... I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.